And I'm quite sure, had they known, had it been today, you would have had to stage another big protest. And what you've got to do in Singapore now is to do what you're doing, what you did yesterday in that big demonstration, that big protest. And that's how we did it in England. Every time someone was going to be hanged in England, the activists would go to the prison and surround the prison gates and protest and shout and scream, big placards. And that drew attention every time. It made big headlines on television and everything. And that's what you've got to do here. They keep going. Just defy them. Defy them. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. That's why they try to shut you up with these draconian laws. Okay? So don't be shut up. Okay.
So are you advocating as a writer in a personal capacity,
yes.
your belief, your personal
yes.
beliefs?
Yes.
Are you advocating compassion for these prisoners or drug traffickers, or
yes?
Or are you talking about fair treatment that is across the board, that it should be the same for everybody,
well,
or
you see,
anti-death penalty?
Sure.
At the
absolutely. Well, you see, if you didn't have the death penalty, you could give everyone a second chance, but a more balanced sentence, a more balanced punishment. 15 grams of heroin and you die, 14 you don't. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous law. And in the case of Julia Boll and LaRousse, the big baron who was allowed to escape by a government trick, there wouldn't have been any need for him to want to escape, because he only wanted to avoid the hangman, or maybe he didn't want to do a 30-year sentence. But if that was the alternative, he's done what he did anyway. Julia Boll, the Germans would not have been upset if Julia Boll had just been arrested and was facing 10, 15, 20 years for what she done. She's a major trafficker, And it's so sickening when they make these pronouncements. When the Prime Minister, Goh Tok Chong, he said these traffickers, when referring to Nguyen, are responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, drug addicts, and in his own country. He was going to Australia with these drugs. Julia Boll was responsible for the health and well-being and the destruction of people in Singapore, in Goh Chok's own backyard. But they let her go. And they let LaRousse go, who was a bigger trafficker than her. It is absolutely disgusting.
So, what would you say if, what would be your ideal treatment that you think should be?
Well, they should be given, they should be psychologically analyzed properly. And if they're mentally defective, they should be treated, and they should not be killed. They are wonderful, I won't say guinea pigs, but the scientists and psychologists and can use them to find out what is wrong, how that boy or girl got that way. There are American scientists in America now that made fantastic progress in finding out the chemical imbalances in people that causes them to do these things. And it's amazing. They can, and because it's chemical, they can treat them with drugs and all kinds of things. And they're getting to the root of it. How are these people born like that or developed like that? And it's amazing. And that's what should be done here. This kind of science would elevate Singapore to huge heights, And instead of doing it that way, you've got to be doing that humane way. Why are human beings like this? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? So why is someone trafficking drugs? And they should analyze these people properly and not kill them. It just doesn't make sense in this modern age, where we have all this science, technology.